welcome to Relish Books. Today I'm just doing a quick what I'm reading update video. I have not been as intentional with my reading over the past week as I would like to be, so I'm hoping that making this video and sharing what I'm reading and what I would like to be reading and focusing on will kind of help with that as well, because I'm in the middle of a lot of books. I think that's part of the problem. I'm just kind of stretching myself too thin. I really enjoy working on multiple books at a time, but right now I just have a lot of them going, and some of them I'm kind of taking a break from, focusing on some new ones. Hopefully just really going to focus on finishing some stuff, getting some things out of the way before moving on. But kind of that easy read that I've been just picking up off and on this week as I've been having a little bit of a lapse from more heavy reading. The Remains of the Day. I mentioned this in what I got at the bookstore video. Again, I hate this cover, but it's a cheap used book. I just hate live action covers. I hate photographic book covers, especially if they're from a movie, from a show. I'm not even sure if this probably is, but I hate that. It looks so cheap and so bad. Books need illustrations. They need art, not pictures. I don't even know why it looks so bad, but it does. Anyway, when I first started this, I'd heard so many good things about this book for so long, and when I first started it, I was disappointed. I was like, the writing just didn't ring quite true to me. It feels very put on. It feels very pretentious. Like this guy's really trying to sound like a butler, a very proper, dignified English butler, and it felt so put on. The more I read it, the more I become used to the voice and more interested in the story, but it definitely had a bit of a difficult start for me. I don't know if other people have felt that way at all, but it felt put on. It's also very repetitive. He uses these kind of superfluous phrases a lot. He puts in a lot of extra words, which is annoying. But I'm getting kind of used to it. I'm just over halfway, and the story's definitely getting more interesting. I'm more used to the style, so I'll let you know my final opinion when I finish that, hopefully very soon. This book, I shared that I checked it out from the library a while ago, but I was reading some other poetry, didn't get to it for a while. And that is The Book of Images by Rilke. I'd never read Rilke before, and I will tell you right now, my mind is blown. He is amazing. I don't even know how poetry can still be that good coming from the translation. This copy has the original German on the one side and then the translation on the other, so you can kind of look at it, and it's kind of fun to do that, to see the words that have come over. But I was stunned pretty much from the first poem in this book. I was like, how have I never read this poet before? He is amazing. I started reading and I just felt like my brain was exploding. He's so good. So I can't recommend this enough. I'm not all the way through yet, but loving that. I love discovering new poets that are so good. And then another first for me. I know you can't tell what this is. Henry James. This is an author name that, of course, I've heard over and over and over and over. Anytime you study literature, anytime you read writing about writing, Henry James is going to be a very common name, but I had never read any of his stuff, and so I I just picked a very well-known title to start with. No idea what his best work is or anything, and that is The Turn of the Screw, because that's a title that I knew, and I was like, I want to try some Henry James. So I started that, and I'm only a couple chapters in. This is not just that. This is a collection of novels of his, but only a couple chapters in, and I'm kind of scared because it is very ominous. And I didn't know that he was and I don't know if he is considered a horror writer, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this story. I didn't know that was the genre at all. So yeah, feels very ominous. I'm kind of scared to continue. I hope it's not too awful. I really don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, the writing feels, it might just be this copy, but there are like this edition, there are some like typos and some little things where it feels like a word is missed here or there, or sentences start with just like a little bit of a wrong word, like it says like it's sort of supposed to say the. So I'm kind of just like, it feels like it was written in a great hurry, but that's probably just an edition problem rather than the writer's problem, because so far I don't know, his writing feels a little chunky almost. I'm not sure how I feel about his writing, but just started it, so we'll see. And then this last one is a book that I started a long time ago that I mentioned a long time ago, months ago. I've taken a several month break from this book on purpose because even though I was really enjoying the writing, loving the writing, it has a lot of difficult content and a lot of content that I don't generally read in books, that I generally try to avoid. But I'm purposely reading this one, and I'm purposely going to finish it because I really want to read it, because it's on like top 10 lists from people that I respect, whose opinions I don't necessarily always agree with by any means, but if they're putting something on their top 10, I'm going to pay attention to it. And that is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I love the writing. I fell in love with Larry McMurtry's writing from the opening line of this book. And consistently stunning writing. I'm about halfway, not quite halfway, it's a huge book. I'm not quite halfway when I decided to take a break, just because there's so much, although it's not written in a way that the way that it's written is very straightforward, it's very blunt. So a lot of the things, a lot of the content that I might have a problem with, if they were written in a more, I don't know, a less blunt way, I would have more of a problem with it. The content that is difficult, I do appreciate the way that he approaches it, I guess, except that I really think that even with the story he's telling, he could put in, there's a lot of things that I feel like are meaningless. A lot of characters doing bad things that feel like they don't really have any meaning to the story, and they're kind of just all this stuff put in there. It was kind of just like weighing on me, so I took a break, but I really want to finish it, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. I took a several month break, but I'm pretty sure I remember, I've thought about the story pretty consistently since then. Pretty sure I remember it well enough to be able to pick it up without too much review. But yes, I am going to focus on this again, although it'll probably be a while before I'm doing my final review of it because it is a huge book. But yeah, I don't know if I can ever like really recommend it to people without a lot of like, there's stuff in here, but the writing is just so good. When Augustus came out on the porch, the blue pigs were eating a rattlesnake, not a very big one. Just something about this opening line and then the opening paragraphs to follow set the tone for the story perfectly. I love the setting. I love the name. I love the writing. So I'm going to get back on it with this one and eventually do a review. So those are the things that I'm working on. Kind of trying to change it up, read some different things to kind of get back into the groove of reading a lot. And being intentional about making time for reading, which can be difficult, but is very worthwhile and very rewarding. So that's what I'm reading. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.